I got no fancy box this time. Yeah, I'm not sure how I could fit this into the thumbnail. But yeah, if the title didn't give it away, I 3D printed a DeLorean. As you guys know, I've had a 3D printer for a while now, and I've just used it for small parts, and I've had like a fairly good success rate, so I figured, hey, I could print a kit. This can't be that hard. As far as the body goes, it took me a few attempts, and I gave up after my third attempt. This is by far the best out of the lot. No matter what I did, I kept getting this weird jog in the hood and the front fenders. So I tried to reorient it, and I printed it upside down, and well, I still got that weird jog there. I don't know if that's just something in the print or the file, I mean. I don't know, but when I did it upside down, I got the jogs on the back of the car too. Not really sure. That's probably not the legal name, but I call that little weird dent right there, I call that a jog. 100 years ago, I worked in aviation, and we had a thing called a joggle press that made weird divots and shapes like that, so that's what I'm calling it. Now, this one itself did not turn out that bad, but I had a bunch of, I don't know, drippy resin there on the hood and at the front of the grill. I don't know. But I went back and I tweaked my exposure settings after watching about 1,000 YouTube videos, and well, I could live with that jog, because that's really the only defect in this. And it's on a flat plane, so I could easily sand it and fill it. I did break that rear bar off though. I don't think it's critical, but if it is, hey, I could always cut that one off and graft it in. Now, even though I have a 3D printer, I lack a regular printer. So there's no way I'm going to be able to print those DeLorean decals that goes across the door. Or gauges, or badges, or anything. And I did start sanding on this, but this side I haven't touched yet. You could see it's got the, I don't know, I guess the layer lines, that's the word. I was going to say steps, the layer lines. But yeah, sanding sucks. I also printed a chassis. Well, two of them, actually. That one I actually dropped and broke it. That was a bummer, because it was a fairly decent print. Now this one came after I tweaked with the exposure settings, so I'm going to show you something here that, well, I'm going to live with, because it should be an easy fix. Those really thin bits there, they did not print all the way through. Yeah, you could see daylight there. I also got that weird droopy thing back here. I don't know what that is, but I'm just going to sand that smooth. If anybody knows what causes that and how to fix it, please let me know. But yeah, that's just a curbside chassis. Not a lot to it. The interior tub, well, it printed just fine without any problems for me. And it's weird because looking through the viewfinder, there's still shiny bits on that, like it's uncured resin. Yeah, that's definitely not sticky. I don't know what all that is. Yeah, not sticky. If you look at this in person, those are not shiny, but it's only showing up through the viewfinder, man. I don't know. So I'm gonna go off my typical beaten path here, and I'm just gonna dump this out. We're gonna go through all the parts individually, because there was actually a lot of parts to this kid, believe it or not. Yeah, my left hand there, I have a dashboard, because I printed off two of them, and the other one's in a pile somewhere, but I don't know. Yeah, we'll get to it later. But yeah, this dashboard, it's very true to the car. It looks accurate. The only problem is I don't have a decal for gauges, but yeah, it looks real good. And the stalks on the steering column did not break, so that is a win for me. This is one of the side skirts that goes onto the body. And I ended up printing 2 pairs of those because, well, in my infancy of 3D printing, I let the slicer do auto supporting, and it done a ton of supports, and it did it all on the critical body line. So no matter what I did to sand everything smooth, those things would just not sit flush on the body. So I did what anybody would do. I learned. I started messing around doing my own supports. I did very minimal supports, probably too little, but parts printed and they fit. Oh, here's that other dashboard. This is the result of auto supports. I learned from my mistake. I wasted some money and some resin, and I learned to do my own supporting, and my parts are so much better from it. So we're going to get to the nitty-gritty of all the parts here, so let's zoom in. This is one of the vents for the back window. And that part is so small and fiddly, I left it on the support so I wouldn't lose it. Now the door panels, these are also auto supported. These didn't turn out that bad in my opinion, so I didn't reprint extras. And despite the detail in this kit, like everything was molded in on the door panels, not separate pieces, so masking. Oh, and I just now noticed this, well, at the time of the unboxing. Even though I did auto supports, they did not support the same. Is that normal? Now this is the engine cover. This guy goes up into the body to cover the engine. Well, it would if I didn't have the supports on it. Now oddly enough, I don't know why they molded all the mesh in instead of just leaving it open. Let's look at the real thing here. Yeah, I'd rather just have those parts open and use my own mesh. Which I probably will. I'll cut all that out. Now going back here to do the voiceover, I think I just realized why they didn't do that. This is the louvered back window cover. So you guys can't even see that engine cover. This is another one of those things where I printed twice. Victim of too many supports, and this one came out just kinda warped. So I printed another one. Why not? Why bother straightening this when I could just throw another one on the next print? You guys hear me? This 3D printing's making me lazy. Now these guys here, these are the headliner pieces, inserts for the gull wing doors. And these just fit up into the body like so. You can see there's a perfect indent for them. Problem is I printed them upside down, so all the supports and the witness marks from the supports, they're going to be visible. But that is okay, because, well, I could just sand them super flush and, well, these good doors don't open, so Muddy will know. Now, from what I've seen, the dude who modeled this, Micro Machines STL over on Cults, he also had a kit that he showed on Instagram with opening doors. So I think that's why we got different pieces there. Alright, now as far as the rear bumper goes, I thought I printed 3 of them, but I only printed 2 of them. Again, the first round, I let auto support do it all for me, and it ended up putting supports all along the mating edges, and no matter how much sanding and cleaning I do, it just will not set flush. And you guys could probably tell which ones I printed first and which ones I printed last. By the time I was done cleaning all these parts, my wash and cure station was pretty gnarly. Man, that alcohol was nasty. But that other piece, it just fit too loose. The lines weren't straight. This one here, it snaps into place like it was meant to fit, and it will hold itself in place. The body gap there is consistent. This just looks right. And this little guy right here, this is one of our headlights. And I'm leaving these small fiddly bits on the supports because in my mind, a bigger piece is going to be harder to lose. And there is another one for the opposite side around here somewhere, and I'm not going to dig through it. It looks just like that, but, well, reversed. Okay, what do we got next? This is our radio and climate controls. That guy fits right inside the top of that center console there from our interior tub. Now we will see another one of these later. Again, once I tweaked with my exposure settings, I wanted to go print another one of these just to see if I can get a bit more crisp. Oh, and here's another one of those vents. See how little that is? That's why I printed a couple more and kept them on the supports, because I've already lost some of them. And these are the wipers, and again, you guys know the drill by now. The smaller parts I am keeping on the supports, but this is also more to keep them protected. And this is, oh, these are the wheels from the drag pack. How long ago was that build? Yeah, that tells you how long I've actually had this printed that I've just been kind of sitting on. Yeah, about 6 months ago now. So I'm kind of surprised I remember all these parts. But this guy here, this is for one of the side markers that goes in the front bumper. And I guess I'll find that piece now. There it is. But while we got this guy in our hand here, or at least we did have it in our hand, this is the bumper insert that goes on the front bumper. And again, that is a separate color than the bumper, so Mr. Micro Machine STL, thanks for printing those separately. Just less masking, it's just so much easier to assemble. Yes, the front bumper. This is the one that I had printed off 3 times. This guy right here, again, auto support, just, I'm almost embarrassed to show it off. I really am. Now this one turned out a whole lot better, but it still had that droopiness to it. I don't know what that's about. So I printed off another one, again my own supports, and this one just came out flawless. It's perfect. And I just realized that demo body I've been showing you guys is one of the flawed ones. So let's get the good one, the keeper. And this guy doesn't snap into place like the rest of them, but the body gap, it is still consistent and everything fits. Except for right there, but you know, that impact strip for the bumper will fill those gaps. Now this little guy right here, this is the air dam for the front of the car. This guy fits on the bottom of the front bumper, something like so. It's hard to imagine because, well, I got to get the bumper on the car for that to fit and look right, and, well, when I build it, you guys will see what I'm talking about. Let me grab one of these rear bumpers here real quick. Okay, this piece right here, this is the insert for the rear bumper. And again, I had to print 2 of them because, well, auto supports. Yeah, I'm going to keep blaming auto support for all my failures here, guys. No matter how much sanding I did, I cannot get the back of that piece smooth enough to sit flush. The original, it also had these weird little gaps and pinholes. I tried filling them, but why? Why? Just print another one. I'm getting serious, guys. This 3D printing is making me lazy. This little guy right here, this is one of the side vents that goes on the B-pillar. So during my sanding and test fitting, I didn't want that guy to get stuck in there permanently, so I drilled a little hole there. So during the test fitting, I can just put something in there to push it out from the other side. So just a hot tip for you guys. It needs fitting. Drill a hole just to make it easier to push that piece out. And I, of course, have 2 of those. One for each side. Oh, and this little guy. This is... Yeah, I was going to look for the other one, but... I probably lost it because I took it off the supports. But this is the rear fender extension or bumperette, whatever you want to call them. And again, these are a separate color, so I think this dude made it easier to paint, but in reality, the side skirts and these fender extensions, I would have just wanted to mask those. And this thing right here, oh, these are the valve bodies for the Power Glide that I had printed for the drag pack. Now these guys, these are the brackets for the seats. I had to print off a lot of them because I forgot to mirror them, but we definitely need a left and a right one for these seats. And I was going to dig through the pile to show you the other one, but yeah, I have a total of 4 of these in there somewhere. Alright, we're starting to run out of parts here, guys. We're almost done. So this is the rear muffler and the tailpipes. Nothing fancy there. On these dinky little things, these are actually the side view mirrors. And I really thought they were small, but man, these are actually to scale. And I reoriented those, did my own supports, because this was the product of the very first print. Well, as far as the mirrors goes. Yeah, way too many supports, plus the witness marks are just in all the spots that are not going to be hidden. I just print more. And that is the second side marker insert for the front bumper. These are the pedals. I'm telling you guys, there's a lot of detail actually in this kit. This is our grill. This is print number 2 once I mess with the exposure settings. You guys can actually see the DMC logo. Actually, hold on, it's upside down. There you go. DMC, Daimler Motor Corporation. Oh, here's that other headlight I was looking for earlier. Ooh, these are the hubs. Another learning experience for me. Now on the body, we got 2 separate spots to mount these. I'm not sure why. If I had to guess, I'd say dude later on down the road is going to do some Back to the Future cars. If you remember in a flying car, the wheels are actually horizontal instead of vertical. So maybe different mounting options for the different wheels. I'm not sure. And here's another one of the hubs. Again, auto support, plus it did it all on the mating surface. There's no way I could get that smooth enough to sit flush inside the chassis. So I learned, I reoriented, and I made it right. And these are our seats. Again, first print. And I'm starting to sound like a broken record, but yeah, look at all those supports. But nothing special about them though, just some regular old bucket seats from the era. Yeah, this is just trash what this is. This is auto support and me trying to group all the pieces together, and well, pieces broke because there was too many supports and I couldn't remove them. And I was going to show you guys all the pieces that broke off of it, but I forgot I zoomed in. I'm kind of out of frame here and just... I failed you guys. Sorry. Well, I guess I can show you one piece that still broke off. Now that piece right there, that is the tail light insert. I actually got a good one right here that I printed afterwards. There is also an insert for the rear bumper, and those guys just slot into place like so. Now I'd only printed one originally because my plan was to get some of that clear resin that I keep seeing on Amazon for like 12 bucks. So I'd only printed one of these just to make sure it fit and it was to scale. Then I was going to reprint them in clear, then just go over them with my clear red or clear amber. So yeah, speaking of this piece, this is the one that slots into the rear bumper. And this one still might get reprinted just because, well, look at all those supports. Yeah. And this is going to be the insert for the center console. And I don't know the technical names. If I just say insert, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? And I guess I could say that is a shifter in the armrest for the center console. Steering wheel, again, just like the seats, nothing special, just a style of the time. And I printed off 2 of these, again, supports. I know. Guys, I really learned, believe me. Here's the first print of the grill before I tweaked with the exposure settings. You can't even read the script, and you could barely make out the slats in the grill there. And, not a clue. I don't think that even belongs to this kid. I don't know. And finally, we have our wheels and tires. The tread is there, believe it or not, but it is super, super shallow. And these wheels actually turned out amazing. In my opinion, anyway. The actual model, though, itself, it could have been better. Yeah, we could see the DeLorean emblem, but man, just look at the lug nuts. You could have spent some more time there, dude. And I always point this out when I deal with this, but these wheels are staggered. They're both wider and taller in the rear. But this actually has one of those hubs on the wheels. So let me show you what I'm talking about when I said I had to relearn and adjust and basically change what I thought about 3D printing. Yeah, that's where the supports were originally. There's absolutely no way I could clean that up to fit inside of one of these mounting pockets. It's not going to happen. Oh yeah, guys, remind me I need to print off another one of these tires because, well, I'm lazy now. I'm not going to fix that. And these wheels and tires, man, they are a super tight fit. And when you drive the wheel home into the tire, you're going to play hell getting it out. And since I do intend to paint these, I'm not going to go through that again. That is it though, guys. What do you think of my 3D printing and my learning experience compared to Iceman Collection's custom W10 I unboxed yesterday? His is a lot better, I know, but let me know.